I promised myself I was going to try and see the good parts of the Marvel films as I reviewed them. So far I haven't had that much trouble, but I really struggle to see the positive side of Thor. This is going to be a short review because I honestly can't summon the energy to talk at length about this film. Most of it is just soul-crushingly mediocre and the rest is just bad. Halfway through Thor, I just wanted to stop. I don't want to sound overly cynical or like I'm bashing the movie, but I seriously couldn't find reasons to continue besides needing to review it once it was over. The plot for this film is one of the aspects that was incredibly mediocre. I finished watching about half an hour ago and I'm already struggling to remind myself of what happened. There was nothing that this film did to surprise me or that I already didn't expect to happen. Granted, the villain is worked into the film a lot better than most of the movie's Marvel releases, but that's as much as I can say in terms of things I liked about this story. It's just a superhero movie with a villain that does some bad things and the superhero stops him. Where the film has some potential is in its relationships and characters. Loki's motivation to portray Thor and Odin is a really interesting subplot that, if better explored, or made the main focus of the film, would have made this movie infinitely more interesting. Instead, it's a sort of side thing that is mentioned briefly a few times and doesn't really have that much of a role in the film. The rest of the characters' relationships are really lackluster. I can understand why certain relationships form, but it's really more of a case of the film saying, yes, these two people now relate to each other in this way and that's just the way it is now. Certain events would happen and I could usually see that something might form from an event like that, but it was never enough to really justify how the characters interacted. For example, the relationship between Jane and Thor is not really unwarranted because I think it would have happened anyway. It just seemed to me like they skipped a few steps. There are a couple of things I'm not going to bother talking about before the last two things I have mildly strong opinions about, and those things are editing, music, acting, sound. The last two things I have opinions on are the cinematography and the art direction. I'll leave the positive opinion for last, so cinematography is first. It ranges from just boring and plain to really badly framed and overall awful. The slanted angle shots have no place in this film, and it seems like a really strange gimmick with no purpose. It's distracting to watch because of how out of place and badly framed it is. The positive thing I have to say about the art direction is that I liked it, and it was cool. And that's about it really. I think this review might just be as boring as the movie itself, and if I wasn't doing a series I probably wouldn't have even bothered releasing this, which I considered doing anyway.
Thor? That's a 4 for Thor.